Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. You will recognize one of my guests from being here on her other side of her life just a week ago, and that's Jax Mariosh, who this time is here with Powderbird, and I'm excited also from Powderbird Heli Skiing to have Scott Bedford here, who is not only a partner but a guide as well. Welcome both of you to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great to have you. Okay,
great to be here.
I got to be honest, this is the one thing I have not done on skis that I really want to do. I want to take my skis and I want to go heli skiing. And I think that there's a romance to this that a lot of people get from in the skiing world. There's a romantic association with heli skiing.
Correct. I mean, I think it's on everybody's bucket list if you're
right?
a really good skier.
Yeah, and that's because you guys can go anywhere. You can go and get the really good stuff. Correct. Talk to me about that.
So Powderbird is, we're 44 years old. We actually started right here in Canyon. As you drive into Canyon Resort, there's an old log cabin.
Yeah.
We built that, and that was the first. So we started flying people out of this side 44 years ago.
Wow.
So it has a long legacy here in the valley, and our clients are very varied in terms of their ability and their enthusiasm. But I'd say half the people that ski with us, it's sort of the bucket list.
Yeah, for sure.
And then they go from the bucket list to
regulars.
To regulars, and then we have a few people that ski with us every day.
I bet there are some people who do that. I would like to be doing that. That sounds awesome. I mean, do you get to, in that kind of a situation, you get with your guide and start picking like a different place every time? I mean, what do you do? No,
I mean, the way it works for us is the guides really drive the business. And so in the morning, we have a meeting and we determine from weather and conditions where we're going to go.
Okay.
So we have over 100,000 acres. We have a Forest Service concession.
Right.
And we go everywhere up as far north as Francis Peak, so almost close to Powder Mountain, all the way down to Cascade.
Wow, really? All the way down to Cascade.
So we have a lot of terrain, and we love to ski. So we're selfishly looking for the best snow to go every day.
I bet. That's what I would want to do too. It only makes sense, right?
Right.
You find the best places out there. Jax, talk to me about the accessibility of this. I think people don't realize that you can just as easily go and do this as go anywhere else.
Right. So one of the really great things about Powderbird is that we are located 25 minutes from the airport. So you can get to either our heliport over here in Park City, or even also between Alta and Snowbird. We have a heliport over there as well. So it's almost the most accessible heli skiing in the United States of America.
Wow. And
so folks can literally just hop on a plane, and within 25 minutes you're at the heliport and ready to go.
And going to an epic adventure on the mountain.
Yes, for sure. A day in the life with Powderbird is, you get there in the morning and you have a really nice catered breakfast, and you go through all of your kind of just guide training, or not guide training, all of your protocol, safety equipment and all that, and then you head out and get about 6 to 7 ski runs in, and then come back and celebrate with a happy hour and finish up your day.
Oh boy, I can see why you'd want to be a guide. This sounds like this doesn't even sound like work to me. That's not work.
No, it really isn't work.
I mean, I expect you to be smiling all the time about that kind of a job. That is pretty ideal.
Yeah, it's one of the best. It's, and one of the great things about being a guide is people will literally say to you at the end of the day, that was the best day of my life.
Wow.
And that's really special.
Yeah, you got to take some reverence with that. Like, that's important. Like somebody's, taking this as like you said, a bucket list item or something they've dreamt of their whole life, or even they just don't know what they're expecting, and then it becomes that.
Right.
That's important.
It's really important.
Yeah, these are memories that are not just lifelong, but just, something that have been dreamt about too.
Right. And so part of that too, besides the skiing, there's the experience of flying in a helicopter in the mountains.
Whoa.
So
nothing quite like that either.
Right, and we operate 4 what's called B3Es, so they're the most advanced helicopters in terms of mountain flying in the world. It's the only one that's landed on the top of Mount Everest.
Yeah, and of course that was an empty version. They took almost everything out to do
Still
it.
Counts.
But it counts. I know, and it was awesome. I guess.
Right.
So they're in the Jetstar family, right?
Correct.
Right? Yeah, some really awesome copters. I mean, this is in my mind kind of the ideal.
They're the Ferrari of the sky.
They really are, and they can go anywhere. That's
Right.
and as you said, Everest. It's really something, because so many other helicopters have never made it there because of the thin air, and they somehow managed to flap out just enough lift to get there.
Exactly.
It's impressive.
Very impressive.
And at our altitude, they really perform, and that means that the ride up can be just as much fun as that ride down.
Right, and it also encapsulates safety too, which is critical for us. Is the helicopters have the ability to, I almost call it dancing on the peaks.
Yeah.
Is they have so much power and they're able to operate. And in the Wasatch, as you know, we get sometimes pretty tricky winds that come up.
Right.
So the helicopters give you a great sense of comfort, just because they have the power.
Well, going there every day, you should know, and that's
Right.
exactly what we're talking about. We've shown a couple of little clips there. I hope to show a little bit more as we continue. This, to me, as I said, I know for a lot of people it seems inaccessible, but the cost is not that tremendous either. It's in line with what most people spend skiing anyway, really. I mean, it's a more expensive day than your typical, but it's certainly worth it.
Yeah, definitely. Prices range during the season, and anywhere from $1,200 to $1,540 a day. But it's really hard because once you go, you never go. You don't want to go back to the ski resort, and so you just save up and go again.
Well, I kind of also sort of tie this together to some of the other things that you might do in your life that that where convenience sometimes trumps the cost, where it's so much more convenient. You're going to get so many more runs in. You're going to get so much more of an adventure and experience that, spending a little bit more money to have that becomes way more important than standing in a lift line.
Right, definitely.
And I think that, to that as well, I think the big thing is when we grew up, powder wasn't what I'd call a rare commodity.
Right.
And now, I mean, like, you'd show up at a skier at 9 o'clock 20 years ago and you could ski powder 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it feels like it's gone in 45 minutes.
Which is about right. Maybe that's even too long sometimes.
Right. So for us, we're finding clients, it's good and bad. A lot of people don't have a lot of experience in powder. But we also have state-of-the-art skis that we give to everybody.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So most people don't use their own skis.
Oh, that's something I would never have guessed. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So this is much more of a package than people realize when you talk about having breakfast and having that whole day's experience, including the wrapping things up with a cocktail. It's a lot different. And
even with those packages, there's 3 different packages that we offer for clients. So you can either have what they call private, a premium, or a charter. So one case you have it's your heli for the day, and it's you and your guides, and you're out there, and then we have the option where you're sharing seats with others. And so there's all these different ways that you can cater your day to have it really be an exclusive experience.
Yeah,
and an
it can just be
adventure.
your copter for the day if you want it.
It could.
Yeah, that's pretty great. I think I'd like that idea, get that thing right up there, right above me as I ski down and get back in and go right back up. That sounds kind of ideal for sure. These lines that people are getting are incredible, and of course, as you mentioned, there's a lot of powder, but as we work into this part of the season, corn is awesome. Talk about that.
So the corn cycle, we're kind of in a little bit of a transition with the weather, but you get into a melt-freeze cycle, which creates corn snow. And corn snow can be, anywhere from 3 to 4 inches deep. And for me, this is actually moving in. I love skiing corn, actually more than powder.
Really?
Yeah, and so a couple reasons. One is it's much more technical for us. We're able to, because of stability, and as we get into like the melt freeze, we can get onto our most challenging terrain and ski stuff that we can't ski during the winter.
How about that?
So we get much longer lines, much deeper lines, and it's a bit of a dance with corn, is because you really do follow the sun. And you'll bring a group out and fly out, and you might stand there for half an hour. And it's literally waiting for it to be exactly right. And then it's game on. And it's, to me, it's the most fun skiing because it's fast skiing and it feels like powder, but it's a very different sensation.
Well, I want to experience it myself. I'm sure you do too. It is game on, and it's game on with Powderbird heli skiing. Thank you guys both so much for being here.
Thank you.
If they want to find out more, where do we go?
powderbird.com.
Oh, that's easy. All right, so make sure you check that out and get yourself in a heli and get that kind of skiing that you've always dreamed of. Right now, we're heading into corn season. Couldn't be better than that. Our guide says so, and I tend to believe him. We will be back with more here on the Mountain Morning Show right after these messages.